and my first crush, the first girl that I ever liked, just so happened to be Japanese. It is like super duper fall weather out right now. But yeah, we are back again with another Storytime Saturday. Let's go. Alright guys, I have my sunglasses on because it's a little bit bright out here. Beautiful, beautiful October fall weather. We are near a park, we're at a park near my house, which is one of my favorite things about Canada. You can pretty much walk anywhere and there's going to be a park that you can use, and I'm sitting at a picnic table right now, which is awesome. I feel like Japan needs a little bit more of these kinds of places. Anyways, a lot of people have been asking me, why did you decide to move to Japan? And it's kind of a long story, so I thought let's finally share that with everyone. I guess there's some people walking through the park now and they're like, what the heck is he doing? So to start the story, it really goes way, way back to basically when I was born. My dad actually owns a Japanese restaurant called Ebizo. And Ebizo is in Victoria, which is my hometown. And he's been running that restaurant for, I think, almost 30 years now. I'm 27, so the restaurant is older than I am. At Ebizo, all of our staff are Japanese. So I grew up around Japanese people, even though I'm half Canadian, half Vietnamese. I was very used to growing up around Japanese people, Japanese food, Japanese products, but I didn't really know the difference between Japanese people and Canadian people or whatever when I was 3 or 4 years old. It wasn't until I was about 7 or 8, one of my cousins introduced me to manga, like Japanese comics. And the first one she introduced me to was Naruto. And I thought, wow, I've never seen a Japanese comic or I've never seen a Japanese anime before, is what I thought. And then she's like, no, Sailor Moon is Japanese, Pokemon is Japanese, Hamtaro is Japanese, Dragon Ball is Japanese. So when I was a kid growing up in Canada, we have all of these shows, but we watched them in English. So I didn't really realize that these shows and all of this media that I was consuming, watching, was actually Japanese. So my life was already very, very connected to Japan and the Japanese media and stuff like that. I also remember my family never hired a babysitter or anything because I have 15 cousins and my dad has 9 siblings and my mom also has 3 siblings. So we always had a babysitter for us. But the very rare time where there was no babysitter, I used to just go to Ebizo. And at Ebizo, I would just sit on these big rice bags and I would be like coloring Pokemon like pages like in a coloring book, and the staff would ask me like, are you hungry? And I was like, yeah. So they would bring me ebi tempura, stuff like that. Dad would make me ramen or udon. So growing up around Japanese foods was quite normal. Even things like wasabi, of course, we have in our house. The soy sauce in our house is yamasa. We have natto in my house, like miso. All of these things in my house, very, very Japanese products. But for me, that was just normal. So I go to elementary school, and I think I was 7 years old. And my first crush, the first girl that I ever liked, just so happened to be Japanese. And I don't want to give her full name, but let's just call her Shi-chan. So Shi-chan just moved from Tokyo. I can't remember when she moved, but I think she moved when she was 4 or 5 years old. And I don't know why she was my first crush, but she was Maybe because I had so much influence from hanging out at my dad's restaurant and stuff like that. So I liked her a lot. She didn't like me, which is too bad, but we were pretty good friends and we're kind of still friends now, which is really great. Yeah. Anyways, let's fast forward to high school. So I think I'm 14 years old and I love basketball. So I was on the basketball team and I was actually the basketball team captain in my second year. But in my first year, we heard there's this guy coming from Tokyo to play on our team. Because my school is very, very famous for basketball. We're one of the top teams in our province, and we are definitely the top team in our city. It's called Oak Bay. Oak Bay is my high school. Very famous for all kinds of sports. We hear this Japanese guy is coming over to play on our team, and not all of my teammates were happy. I think because they were worried that if he's really, really good, they won't get any time to play in the games. And I was kind of mad at them because I thought if he's good, he's gonna give us a better chance of winning, so we should welcome him, of course. Anyways, he came over and his name is Aoi, and Aoi couldn't speak any English, and I mean like zero. He could say, "Hello, my name is Aoi," and that's about it. So all of you guys who are studying English, this is a very motivating story. He couldn't speak any English, but now out of all my Japanese friends, his English is the best. Like, he's completely fluent. He can do business English, slang English, like daily conversation. He's completely fluent from absolutely zero English. That's some motivation for you guys. Aoi was awesome. We really hit it off right away. We couldn't even talk to each other, but from hand gestures and smiling and playing basketball together, we really became best friends. Also, he was happy because we have sushi at my house from my dad's restaurant and we have Japanese things, so we got along because of that. The other reason I think his listening improved is even though I knew he couldn't understand what I was saying, I like talking so much, I just kept talking to him every day. So this is a tip again for you guys. Just listen to English every day and your ears will really get used to it. Also, if you guys are interested, I created an English program completely by myself. It's voiced by me, it's videos. You can do everything on your own pace. If you're interested, check the link in the description. Okay, back to the story. So me and Aoi become best friends, and I think we're in our second or third year now, and I'm sitting in science class, and I see this Japanese girl walking around the classroom like with a piece of paper, and I was wondering, what's she doing? Anyways, she comes to me and she asked me, "Can you write your name, please?" And I thought it was really cute. She's trying really hard to know the names of everyone in her class, which is amazing because as an international student, it can be very scary to meet new students and make friends. So as a joke, I wrote my name, but I also wrote my phone number. I didn't think she was gonna call me or anything like that. So after school that day, my phone starts ringing and it's a number I don't know. So I pick up, "Hello?" And she's like, "Oh, it's Hina." And I thought, who's Hina? And she said, "From science class." And I thought, oh my gosh, Hina, yeah, that's right. I gave you my phone number. Like, thank you so much for calling. So we started chatting and I asked her, like, how far do you live from school? And she said, oh, it's like a 10-minute walk. And I thought, oh, my house is also a 10-minute walk. Like, what street do you live on? And she said, oh, I live on this street. And I thought, that's the same street I live on. So I told her, just go outside, like, just walk outside right now. So we both walk outside. She's literally my neighbor, which is crazy. So I told her, why don't you come over? We're having sushi and my friend Aoi is here. Like, we can all kind of hang out. Hina came over and she liked our place so much, and her homestay was not nice at all. She actually became our homestay student. So my best friend is now Aoi, and our homestay student is now Hina. And we went through high school 2 more years together, and then we graduated. So when we graduated, Aoi-kun asked me, hey, why don't we go back to Tokyo together for like a graduation trip? And I thought, oh my God, I've been wanting to go to Tokyo my whole life. I've been wanting to go to Japan my whole life because of the food and the culture and everything. Yes, yes, yes. So we fly to Japan, and Aoi-kun is from Ikebukuro. So the first station I ever went to in Japan was Ikebukuro Station. And I remember walking outside and just seeing huge buildings. You have Sunshine City, and you have so many skyscraper buildings, and there's this huge advertisement of Ichiro Suzuki, the baseball player, drinking beer. And I love baseball, so I was like, oh my God, there's this giant Ichiro, and there are words I can't understand. なんかkaraokeとかカタカナで書いてあるから I couldn't read them. So it was so amazing to see things like this neon signs and everything. I thought, one day I want to live here. So that was my big inspiration about, hey, I want to move to Japan one day. What actually happened is I started taking Japanese classes and I improved little by little. And in 2020, I decided it's an Olympic year and I'm gonna use my working holiday to go to Japan. I thought I can watch the Olympics while I do a part-time job. I really wanted to work at like a sneaker store because I love shoes. I love basketball shoes specifically. And now my sponsor is actually Eigozaru, which is crazy. I'm sponsored by a Japanese basketball company now. But everyone knows what happened in 2020, the pandemic, coronavirus, there was crazy stuff. But I still went to Japan. My family and my friends were like, you're stupid. Don't go to Japan. There's no jobs. Everything's gonna shut down. Everything's gonna close. You're gonna come back home right away because you won't be able to find any jobs. And I thought, I'm going anyways. I decided I'm gonna go. And I had my English teaching license just in case. I wasn't planning to become an English teacher. So that's what happened. I actually became an English teacher, and it became all of this stuff that I do now. And I didn't think I would be there for 3 years. My plan was to be there for 1, but because it was coronavirus, it was easy to get my visa extended. So I spent 3 years in Tokyo, and I don't want to live anywhere else. I wish I could spend all of my time in Tokyo. I'm going back and forth between Canada and Japan, as most of you guys know if you follow my videos. But definitely Tokyo is where all my business is. Tokyo is where all my friends are. So that's where I want to be for the rest of my life. None of this would have happened if there weren't Ebizo or Aoi-kun or Hina-chan. Like, there were so many factors that played into me deciding to move across the world and do what I do. I didn't expect to become a kind of famous person. I get recognized on the street literally every day. I didn't expect that to happen, but I'm very grateful, and I'm proud of myself because I worked pretty hard to get here. That is my Saturday story time, why I moved to Tokyo. If you guys like videos like this, I post them every Saturday. I also post vlogs of what I'm doing in Canada and also what I do in Tokyo. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you guys, and see you next time.